Be on your guard. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world.
You know we're at war!
From the beginning, we knew she couldn't do this alone. Every good quest needs a fellowship.
But you have not seen what I have seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have
Inspection!
We don't change anything, but we interpret everything in this incredible, unique way. Everyone was cast because they were the absolute best person for the role.
Second Age is the great unfilmed story in Tolkien's entire Legendarium, with the forging of the rings and the last alliance. And we felt that that was the story that deserved to be told.
There is a tempest in me. It swept me to this island for a reason.
They cast you out for deigning to beg them for a few petty soldiers. What will they do when you tell them that you are my ally? When you tell them that Sauron lives because of you!
Oh, always beard. Enough with the quail sauce. Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Looks like meat back on the menu, boys.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Country.
I am so tired of people hating on this show. Yes, it is not perfect. This show is not Lord of the Rings. It is an original story. It does not have to follow Tolkien's lore and timelines. You need to watch it as if Lord of the Rings did not exist. If you saw this show and had never heard of Lord of the Rings before, you would not be so negative.
They really are stupid.
Yeah. I hope that guy sees that.
I hope he does too. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome back to This Is Mordor Country, where we make ourselves suffer for your entertainment, because that's what this is. This is plain old pain and suffering. Last week, I was a fool. I naively said, oh, this is going to be battle. This is going to be bad choreography. We're going to be able to skip through this. We won't have much to talk about. Boy, do I look dumb. God, this was one of the worst. I still feel like the lore breaks from like episode, I think 5 were really, really bad. But this is the stupidest one.
I've never wished for you to be right more in my entire life.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Jed, you were right. This battle they talked about for so long. What was it?
What was it, and how much of it's going to be in the next episode?
Yeah,
that's the big question. Well, my takeaway from this is I think whoever wrote this episode needs to be charged with attempted manslaughter, because there were 3 separate times that I laughed so hard at this episode. I started choking. Rachel grabbed me and was like, "Are you dying right now?" I nearly lost it on 3 separate occasions.
He pretty much lost his voice by the end of the episode for a little bit there. He was laughing that hard.
Oh, man.
Kept bringing up those scenes later on that night, and it still worked. I started coughing again.
Yep.
I just went, I can't believe it. There was no laughter for me. It was, I can't believe when I watched. I said, oh my God, once, and somebody poked my head in my room and said, is something wrong? No, it's just retarded. So it's retarded. Rachel, you kept him alive. How are you?
I don't know how I kept us both alive. There was so much bad. This is the most notes I've ever taken.
Really?
The dumbest theories coming up by the end of the episode, and just while I'm trying to revive Jed back to health and help him get his voice back, I'm just over here dying inside myself. So many lore breaks, so much crap going on. I'm excited to jump into this.
Oh yes, and Jed, you know who did write this? J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay.
Really? I didn't see who wrote it. Oh,
they
God.
wrote
so the first episode not written by a woman and that gay dude.
It was them and one other person. It was written by 3 people, and they were involved in it. So
it took 3 people to come up with these god-awful ideas.
Yeah, it did. It did.
It takes... Yeah,
go ahead.
Why? Listen, all I care about this week is apparently the death of Boobs and trying to figure out how the fuck they're going to bring the black man back.
They will. They'll bring him back.
Oh, you saw his face. He was enjoying getting penetrated. He was way too
wow.
much.
Yeah.
And then there was so much just, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe this is happening. What the fuck's happening? How
really
are you alive?
It's because plot armor. Unless you don't have it. Unless you don't have plot armor, you're dead.
And it's pathetic. God, the way they hyped up the troll and all the stands were dying in love with the troll.
Just put a pin in that. I was so... That's so where stupid. I had the most laughs. I went, that was it?
Yeah, there was no build-up, no character growth, and they tried to make it out to be this big thing.
Hey, the thing that I will say is... I was thinking they would puss out, but they cut off a thumb. No.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. ABF, did you torture the GCA again?
I did torture the GCA, but I mean, I'm also torturing myself by doing this. Still a net positive for me, but man, okay. I rolled my eyes a lot during this episode because those like CW moments where like something so minor that happens and then like they make a big deal about it in the show and you're supposed to like believe that's why they're upset. That kind of stuff happens a couple times during this, and I just couldn't take it.
It's especially the horrible one-on-one conversations. There's like 4 of them in here where that exact kind of shit happens. You're going, wait, what? Huh? No, that's not important. Why? What? Oh my God! Yeah, you're absolutely right. Alf, welcome back.
Yeah. So I think I'm dead. I died of cringe. I went through all the phases of grief. I was ready to flip tables, throw my monitor through the window. Yeah, this show is an abomination. It needs to be sent to the bowels of hell.
It's dragging us with it. We got to be careful. We're gonna have to bail out at the last second next week. Anyway, so we're happy to have you back, Alf. Because I know exactly which part you're gonna lose your shit over the most. I know exactly which part. You've already told me. Hail and howdy.
You mean the weird Oedipus complex scene, or
it's not an Oedipus complex?
I'm pretty sure it's an Oedipus complex.
She's not his mother.
Yeah, it would be Oedipus if it was biological.
But no, he ends up wanting to, fuck.
It's more along the lines of
the daughter to fuck the mom.
It's more along the lines of stepmom, mother-in-law porn, which,
No, it's less Oedipus. It's more Twilight.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good. That's good.
He's going to imprint on that baby hard.
Why is everything made for wine moms? No, say wine aunts these days, because they're all childless cat ladies.
Okay, I'm going to try and say hi to the chat again. Hello, chat, across all the channels. Hail and howdy to everybody. We're happy to have you all here. I did see this, though. Mani, if you said it last week, I missed it.
It did say it. I
did say it. Okay. Well, then you nailed it, my dude. You nailed it. And to something else you said right here, since you are new to the channel, this is a temporary stream, temporary podcast. We do this specially for Rings of Power. It takes the place of a show that Jed and I normally do called Saturday Night Drive-In, where we weekly cover movies and just have a discussion, sometimes have guests and this and that. So it's
usually a lot more positive.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
Usually.
Depending on what you're covering.
There's less roasting, more actual discussion and breakdowns. But so that returns in 2 weeks. And we'll talk more about that at the end of the stream because you guys need to help us with that. Anyway, so hail howdy, everybody. We love that you guys are showing up here across all the channels. Hit those like buttons, hit those subscription buttons, and enjoy the rest. So whether you're watching live or on a replay. All right, so this is the penultimate episode. And it doesn't even feel like it. I mean, I know from the trailers I saw last week. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me switch this down here. There we go. We're going to be getting more Three Stooges with the Dark Wizard. I didn't see any clips from Numenor. We might be done with Numenor going into next week.
Dude, the repurposing is in full swing in this episode.
Yeah. And then we might get, and I think we might be done with Isildur. No sign of Isildur or anybody.
Yeah, it was weird. He disappeared. He was traveling with, what's his name?
Well, no,
Legolas
the Black. No, he after he got cucked, he kind of slunk away in that scene, and we haven't seen him since.
Well, that's right. The last time we saw him is when he got cucked. That really wasn't a message at all.
He went to cry into his hand and use it for lubricant. That's where he went. That's the last we saw him. So I don't know if we're getting again, but here we are. This was a little bit of dwarves and a whole lot of elves and a whole lot of queer baiting and shipping. Like you guys said, the shipping was out of control.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a tree.
Listen, couples are reunited, yet broken up again. I mean, we'll get there. So let's get started. All right. This is the preview stuff. This is from last time. We're doing the blah 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 blah. There was no actual credits this time.
Nope. Yeah, we were surprised.
There's no credits. I had to go to a previous review and get my screen cap for the credit tile. So this was just okay. Hi, I'm Celebrimbor. I'm trapped in an illusion drinking coffee. And it's all done so that he can notice the mouse. Oh, hang on. I want to bring this up here for a second here. Oh, we'll come back to that thing right there. He's finishing touching. Remember, it's been what, a night since the siege started?
He does say it's been weeks. That's what I want to ask. Is he delusional when he says it's been weeks that he's been working on the rings, or is this really overnight? Because either way creates an issue.
Yeah.
Either the siege of Eregion takes a day and a half, or they've done nothing for 3 weeks. Those are your two options. Neither of which
I have a third one. He's referring to the entire time he's been there since they started making the 7 into the 9.
And it still falls into the siege has been going on for a day and a half. There's no good answers for this.
Well, remember when I was talking about the timeline and the events?
No.
Yes.
So Sauron is supposed to be leading the army that's attacking Eregion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by the time he attacked Eregion, the rings were already made.
Yeah. And Elrond never makes it back in time. He doesn't make it back in time.
No, but Celeborn was here helping to defend.
And then he rode out to join Elrond, and they never get back. And Galadriel's nowhere in sight because she ain't fucking there.
Oh, and
she has a kid.
Oh, and the dwarves did sally forth and try to help Eregion, and got
right?
defeated and turned back, and then went into Moria and shut the doors.
Yeah,
Listen,
they never got there.
Busy dealing with a black woman.
Well, no, they actually did get there in the book. Like,
really?
They started fighting Sauron, but they got turned back because Eregion got destroyed.
They're too busy dealing with family squabbles.
I thought they didn't.
Between a black man and a crazy guy.
Did they get to the city, or did they get stopped on the way to the city?
I don't know the exact how it worked out, but I know they tried to help. Eregion got destroyed. They decided to go back to Moria and shut the doors and just ride it out in the mountain.
Yeah. And they did escape. They took refugees in. And that I know. They took refugees in. And then Elrond... Well, we'll get to Elrond. We're getting ahead of ourselves. But the history and the timeline is all wrong.
It is because you mentioned it, I do want to say, after this episode, I'm starting to believe the theory that Celeborn might be a Dar. We'll get to it. There's a specific thing that Rachel and I have been talking about from the end.
Don't.
But we'll get there.
You think there's gonna be like some kind of spell over him? It gets lifted, and then Galadriel's like,
"Oh,
my husband."
I've kind of gone into the idea that I think Celeborn is Adar as well.
Put a pin in that one because I don't.
Can I just say, the whole weeks thing? Is there an argument? And I'm having to use the fucking show's logic here, so follow me on this. That he thinks that it's been weeks because of the fucking mind fuckery and
that's what I was saying. Maybe
with,
he's delusional.
Yeah,
it still doesn't help the situation because either it's actually been weeks and the siege made no progress, or in his head, and he made all 9 rings in a couple hours.
That would be so. All of it's bad. That's what I want to bring up first. But first, the point you just said: if the siege has been going on for weeks, and suddenly they make progress when all other parties arrive on the scene,
teleporting whole armies teleport in this episode.
I gotta ask
again.
Does anyone on this panel know what year this show takes place?
No.
No.
It's too
you don't know what year it takes place.
They never make that clear.
We don't know what timelines anything are.
They don't know what year this takes place.
The
people writing this don't know.
Middle Earth.
It's nonsense. That's why we keep saying this show is goddamn nonsense. None of it makes sense, and especially this doesn't make sense to me. If he's only been working overnight, he's already crafted the foundation of all 9 rings, and then the rest of the episode only takes place at best in a 12-hour period. He puts the finishing touches on all 9 rings really fast.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's
maybe
terrible.
I think it's a little bit longer than that, but yeah.
But it's just now he thinks he's an illusion. Like we said, he starts to notice things are a problem. He catches his reflection. There's the Matrix mouse. And
the only thing about this, the only evidence I think the mouse is stupid, but I do like the candles bit. That was the one thing in the episode was like, that's not bad. It's not good necessarily, but on par with this show. It shows him marking the candle is an idea.
It gives him a little bit of agency intelligence.
Yeah, it does give him, because he is supposed to be a very intelligent character, but I would have expected these writers to not know how candles work. Just because of how stupid they are. They probably think they light and then they're just lit forever. But I guess scented candles are very popular amongst lesbians, so I guess they would know that.
They're vagina
They don't know how
candles.
dams work.
No, well, save it.
Really
Save it. I have so much to say about all of that. I left a couple parts out for the stream purposes. But, okay, so the Matrix mouse. Then here comes his boyfriend to tell him everything's okay. Everything's fine. Just keep working.
Celeborn's a power bottom.
Wait, no, Celeborn wouldn't be a power bottom. He'd just be a normal bottom.
No, he's a power bottom.
We don't know Celeborn yet.
In order to be a power bottom, you have to be in charge. You're the one in charge.
Well, he technically is in charge of a Region,
but he's not in charge of the situation. He's the bottom.
He's a pity power.
He's a pity power.
But this is all just to pad the delusion. Everything's okay, so that we have to set the scene that Celebrimbor is sort of realizing something's wrong. But then, so we can get outside and have the actual devastation going on, and for us to get the idea that Sauron has been feeding everybody lies about Celebrimbor.
My question still is, what is Sauron's plan? Why is he doing any of this? This is so counterproductive to making the rings well. Like every decision he makes is making it hard for Celebrimbor to make the rings. And drawing Adar here doesn't help him make the rings. It just doesn't make any sense.
I still hold the theory that the reason Eitr is here is so that he can steal his army. Just because there's enough points in this where you have Orc who just wants to live in peace with his family, keeps looking really angrily at Daddy Eitr about, oh, why you keep making us fight? I mean, there's this whole, we're going to get this here in a couple minutes, the whole of, I love you with everything that's left of my heart. Ugh.
Beyond the fact that there were no dark elves in Tolkien lore.
Yeah. So here we are, and poor little elf girl who's hotter than Galadriel. she's going to be all, I love you so much. I'm so thirsty for you. You're our great leader. I'm going to take over as Lord of Eregion now. And there's this whole point here where he says to her, you've been so well. You're going to get everything you deserve. You're going to be rewarded.
It's so vague. Everything's just so vague with him that Celebrimbor later on in this episode says, you truly are the great deceiver. How? He is god awful at it. He can only make a vision once or at one period for Celebrimbor. That's the most deception he's able to successfully do with any degree of talent.
And it doesn't even work right.
Is it just me, or did we get I got a feeling like a big tit whatever here and Eitr were trying to, bone.
Well, yeah, she's definitely thirsty for him. And yeah, Smooth's right, dude. She's hotter than Morphic Clark. She has better emotion.
She's still way too short.
Way too short. Well, I'm just going
progress. You can use camera tricks.
They could still have her stand on a box.
Listen,
yeah, they could do forced perspective like they do in every movie Tom Cruise is in.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, she's fun sized. Okay.
Oh, and let me make a point here.
She's just taller than Gal, so she's better.
Let me make a point here. Most elves were tall. Most of them on average were taller than men.
6'5". Yeah.
Yes.
The 6'4" for a woman elf.
Yeah.
Most elves were taller than men, except for the Numenorians, who ended up being taller than a lot of the elves.
Everybody. And so it's all. This is. I found this music, especially with what happens to her. And that she gets that. Now, let me see, what's her next part here? Got to remember, I do things out of order in my review, so my mind's a little jumbled on where we are in things. Okay, here it is. So the sieging stops. The siege stops.
So and after going on for 5 minutes, it looks like.
And they turn the weapons to the mountains. And originally, this was going to be my thumbnail. When they all look like idiots, like, But then I realized, how can I not put Celebrimbor melting down as my thumbnail? How can I not?
That's this damning thing is just so dumb. This would take weeks, even if they had the firepower to do it. It takes a lot more force than 3 hits.
And how brittle is that mountain?
It's extremely retarded. They throw it there, and it's just so. This mountain that has probably literally stood there for thousands of years. No landslides, no avalanches, nothing.
Well, not to mention, look how far that shot is. A trebuchet can shoot like maybe a football field.
That's got some serious distance.
They're not firing that far.
This isn't how damming works.
They
put a thing there, and all of a sudden, all the water go bye-bye. It doesn't work that way.
The tiny little boulders hit it, and then this is my favorite one here. Here it comes. Wait for it. Here it comes. Look at that.
It's like some keystone. Yeah.
Look at that. That is just
that was
right
designed
there.
to fall. As soon as I saw this, I told Rachel, it's going to drain in 2 seconds, babe. It's going to drain in 2 fucking seconds. And that's exactly what happened.
Suddenly, and here, know how bad it is? If you go back later in the episode, when Celebrimbor delusion's broken, the river is still intact. When he goes out on the terrace, you could see it. It hasn't drained. So here it comes, and no, they're draining they're damming the river. She exists purely
5 minutes. Amazing.
And she exists purely, as we'll see in the next scene, to tell us the obvious. They're damming the river. They have a ravager.
To be fair, I didn't know what they were doing until she said they're damming the river, because it's like,
it was just too dumb.
And I haven't confirmed this, but even some Tolkien people have said that the city is on the wrong side of the river.
Is it?
Geographically for how it should be.
That's funny.
Let
doesn't
open up a
surprise
map,
me
shall
at
we?
all.
I don't know if they'll go into that much detail, but yeah.
I just want to think about Adar's plan for a little bit. So he has trebuchets. He's throwing them at Eregion. He's lit them on fire so that they have some smoke. The moment there's enough smoke in the air, he turns and tries to bring down a mountain, and it works, and immediately water vanishes. Like, that's not a plan, especially not one that you could do ahead of time. I feel like there's plenty of ways an orc army would do this. So let's say, yes, he has to get rid of the sun. Orcs would just light the fucking forest on fire and let that smoke fill in the air.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, because that's a good tactic, but they don't even bother. And I want you to keep that in mind when we come back to when Elrond's cavalry charges in. Just the lighting in that moment. Well, you bring that up.
In that moment, or when it cuts to day at the end of the battle, it just cuts. It isn't even gradual. It's just day now.
Yeah,
hold on.
Yeah. So
I'm not looking.
We
All
go
right,
through.
I'm sharing a map real quick.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, they probably would have come from the south.
You see this right here? I think that's the city. The way they've got it displayed, the city's right here. So they got it on the wrong side of the river. And Khazad-dûm's up here, Moria.
JD Payne, Patrick McKay. We're gonna respect the books.
Guys, we're more honest with the books right now. We're following the lore. We're giving you guys what you've always wanted.
So here it is. That's just gonna damn it, I guess, and it's gonna drain in a couple seconds to a muddy mess. And we're gonna continue. So what do we got next? Oh, and Legolas the Black shows up just in time. His fast travel load screen is finished. He's here.
Man, I wish I could.
Do you know how far he traveled?
About 600 miles. 600 miles?
No. About 1,400 miles.
1,400. Wow.
I don't even know where he was last episode.
He was in Moria. He was down just near Moria. So, or not Moria. Mordor.
No, Mordor. No. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was down near Mordor.
Yeah, he was in Mordor.
Yeah.
Wait,
so he traveled about four. I watched this on another stream. I think it was Gary that pointed out. It's like he traveled. If you measure it out, he had to have traveled about 1,400 miles.
Okay,
a Region is up near, probably a couple hundred miles away from the Shire.
Shit.
So it's not far from the Shire. Not far from.
Yeah, he just casually jogged the distance that Frodo and Sam went in Lord of the Rings.
Let me see if
he was somewhere in the Southlands. That's
let me see if I can find a map. Let me see if I can find a map.
So he gets there just in time, and then he's going to F off. Now here's Celebrimbor finishing those rings perfectly. It's literally just been it's been like an hour, and look how much progress he's made on that ring there.
It's a lot of progress.
That's a lot of gilding, dude. That's a lot of goldsmithing going on there.
For anybody who didn't know how to make alloys, this is really impressive.
Yeah.
It's 99% prep and 1% follow through.
I guess so.
That's right.
Man, and he can't even finish right. So now
I didn't know he was Cloud.
Oh, okay. Hey, come on. Cloud's not here. Leave Cloud alone. He's not here. Now he's starting to catch on to it. And here's where Jed said it's a smart thing. This is not a bad thing. It shows intelligence.
Yeah. But it is more than I expected. Like in a normal show, I don't even think I'd mention this. It's just basic intelligence. But for these people, wow, this was their big brain moment. The best idea that they've had in 2 seasons.
But it also,
I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff in this little bits of Celebrimbor going crazy, it's stupid, but it makes sense, especially when he starts to talk to Tits McGee.
All right,
because when you're trying to relay that to somebody that doesn't know this is going on.
All right, so a Region, I believe, is somewhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to travel down these mountains to the east to Mordor. Or
they went to the
basically up this way.
Wait,
that army also fast traveled so hard.
Gondor's down here.
Well, I know because there's Gondor. I thought he would be. You can't see my mouse. Why am I circling anything?
You're retarded.
I thought he would be kind of closer to where the ocean was. There's Mordor, so closer to kind of.
Either way, he still would have had to come up around these mountains.
Yeah,
and then
it's
up.
It's still impossible for him to get over there.
It's so stupid.
Well, it's the same way that Adar's army went in a week too.
Yeah, and nobody noticed.
In 2 days.
Nobody noticed. So here we are. He's going to notice, and this is also the whole idea is, and we'll get further into this as we go into the rest of Celebrimbor in this episode. But this is insulting to Celebrimbor, not only because we have him trapped in delusion, but in reality, he's on the ramparts defending to the last man. He's not in a tower stuck in a delusion.
Yeah, as much as there are the lore issues with Shadow of Mordor and whatnot, he was a very competent warrior. Like the warrior that they portrayed in that show, or in that game, I think could really turn the tide way more than anybody else in this show could possibly do. But this guy, I imagine him lifting up a normal size sword and just being like, "Oh, it's so heavy. What do I do with this?"
Yep. So he's starting to figure it out, and now we get a little bit of the dwarves. So
I love this.
So
how long has Disa and Durin been down there?
We're to believe that Disa and Durin have been stymieing the opening of a new mine, just the two of them, with Disa and her thick-ass leg. Just, oh my God.
From the entire might of a dwarven kingdom.
Hey, she's using her hips to bore out the sides of the cave.
Look at
She's
that.
got
I mean,
power of the music.
I mean, I swear to God.
I'm gonna be honest.
Did she have time for a costume change? Because
Yeah,
this
that's not
costume looks different than the one she first appeared in.
I have no idea. So when
They packed a suitcase before they went to go.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah.
So when this scene came up, it was so dark, I couldn't see what the fuck Durin was doing.
He's just standing there. She's the
just
one
standing
ready
there.
to fight. And she's
Yeah,
like,
let's go.
Let's go.
Well, I mean, the show's correct. We should always put the black women up front of battle.
And she's the one that talks trash when they come in there. Oh, you haven't had enough, have ya? She's the one that talks trash. Durin just stands there. Hey, guys, let's not do this. Okay?
Hey.
Let's not fight. Hey, guys.
Okay.
But is she actually using that weapon, or is she just gonna like drop it and then sing some bats at dwarves again?
We'll find out next week.
Pickaxe looks.
We're gonna find out next week.
retarded,
I
by
can't
the
wait.
way.
Mm-hmm.
There's the good shot right there.
Their hands aren't even on the pickaxe. And to be
know.
fair, I can't tell if that's because they have sausage fingers because they're fat, or the pickaxe is designed awfully.
A little bit of both.
Seneschal man, he's gonna side with them and tell him that his boyfriend's back, and he's ready for that meet and he's ready for it raw.
All right, I just want to point out, Elrond in the time since the siege started was able to get all the way to, what was it, Linden and back?
Oh, you want me to bring up the map again?
And the episode ended with the siege starting, but also with Elrond talking to Gil-galad, and Gil-galad saying the army's already gone off to Mordor.
Yeah.
What happened to that? Did they go catch up, go to Khazad-dûm, get the dwarves, and get to Eregion in the day that the siege been going on?
All right, I brought up the map again.
Okay.
Listen, what the show doesn't tell you is they have chocobos.
So Linden is over here.
Yeah.
So he traveled from Linden to Eregion, up to Khazad-dûm, and then he eventually goes back to Eregion in like
he traveled
5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
He traveled from Linden to almost Eregion, back to Linden, then to Khazad-dûm, then down to
with his token force of maybe 200 elves.
Yeah,
which
that's magically
nothing.
disappears a lot.
Yeah,
we'll get to that
whenever it's inconvenient.
Yeah.
So this is basically, will you come help us? I've had problems. I've had problems too. I'm gonna overthrow my dad. I'm so happy to see you. Let's reconfirm our love
This
for each
whole
other.
conversation, and Jed and I were making so much fun at this line that that Durin calls Elrond.
What is he? You floppy haired something? I don't.
No. I wrote it down.
Okay, you wrote it down. Okay.
Okay, you ready for the shipping line here?
Okay.
Yes.
You title-haired, flowery-tongued flagpole.
He said flowery-tongued. I missed that.
Yeah,
he did say flowery-tongued flagpole.
Wow.
Well,
I remember.
He
I remember from the greeting, it sounded like this is all very sexual. You know, you got your tongue action. You know, your flag.
Oh wow!
Ready? This is the gayest line since their last one.
Do I have?
I
it
can't
here?
get over how he delivers.
Hang on. Wait.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Yeah.
He said he's gonna overthrow his father with a smile on his face, and it just pauses. Like, okay.
How many ships is Elrond in?
Now?
Well, we got the pegging with Galadriel. We have the gay sex with Durin. We have the gay sex with guy who's in charge of the elves. I can't remember.
Gil-galad.
Gil-galad. You got something going on with him and Celebrimbor.
There's also something weird mentor-mentee gay sex thing with Kieran the shipwright.
Yeah, the shipwright.
So
5.
So Galadriel and Elrond are both whores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody's a whore in this game. Show. God, I wish it was a game I could turn it off. Everybody's a whore in this. Who's not a whore?
Who doesn't want to be a whore? Who's also not a whore?
That's all. I mean, that's the thing.
Nori wants to be a whore.
I don't know. You look at Celebrimbor's. You look at Celebrimbor's face when he's crying. It looks like he doesn't want to be there.
It's true.
That's the face of a man without lube.
Is Isildur? I mean, he wants.
No, he got cucked. He got cucked.
He does want to.
He wanted something.
Nori. That's the only.
Now Nori wants Poppy.
Yeah, Nori definitely wants some of that.
What? Gandalf.
He wants Bombadil.
You're right.
No. Gandalf wants all the trees. Gandalf wants that wood, man.
There's that too.
What about Ar-Pharazôn? Maybe it's just Ar-Pharazôn.
No, yeah. Listen, he's just focused on making Numenor great again. He doesn't care about anything.
I think we found the one non-whore.
Yeah.
Oh no, Don Legolas or Legolas the Black.
He's in mourning, Jed. Have some compassion. He's in mourning.
But we're talking about season 1. He wanted Bronwyn, so I think it's Ar-Pharazôn. Unless he wants to screw his cousin Muriel, which wouldn't surprise me.
Does Theo, without his badass teenage mustache, is he into anybody?
Yeah, he's into Isildur.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he's also kind of.
I'll accept this answer.
I'm just making up shit at this point.
Well, it's like it's believable.
So I think Isildur's just gonna run off with the Entwives. We'll never see him again.
But that's not how it works.
Do you think they care?
Yeah.
No. At this point, no.
At this point in time, they'll probably kill Isildur off. I'm willing to bet they'll try to kill him off.
Well, because it has to be his sister. She has to. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody do.
He's gonna Mulan with the name Isildur.
I saw somebody do a morph, putting the dude who plays Isildur and Femron here onto the faces of the intro from Fellowship, saying, "At the end of season 5, they'll be here." I just face palmed when I saw it. Like, oh God! No.
You know the sad thing is, it could be true.
They don't get that far. Listen. I know that a lot of people made proper, logical business cases to how they have to go to season 5. I still think there's an escape hatch clause that they'll pull the plug at season 3. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a way they wrote something in there. Amazon wrote something in there. If it's doing this badly, we are just gonna pull the plug. We'll end it here. It's just a feeling. We'll know next time we get around back here. So, all right. So now I need your Legion of Dwarves. Okay. I'll give it to you because I love you.
There. Oh,
right.
Look how fast he's hammering.
That looked like he was going to town.
So the orcs
army
are marching.
Looks so small. There's only like 10 of them on screen at once.
Yeah.
And they're just charging in there.
You know, with most battle scenes, that's the case. They don't have as many people that would actually be in the battle, but they did a terrible job of showing what they need to show and not showing when they don't need to show, because there's times when it looks like there's only like 12 people in the army.
Oh, well, there only are 12 elves. So, but here we are. So we're at the beginning of the battle now, the actual battle. Here's the problem. I don't see any other siege equipment. No ladders. And if they're
what are they planning to do?
If you're an army and you're sieging let's take Return of the King when they're sieging Gondor. I'm sorry, not Gondor. When they're sieging Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
They did that, they had a purpose because they had Grom and they needed to get the battering ram up there. So of course, and they also had siege towers and they had ladders. And they had ladders. They were climbing up there. Same with the battle at Helm's Deep. They had siege equipment, ladders climbing up. No ladders. And so if there's no ladders, no siege towers, no battering rams, why is the army surging forward? Just to get pin-cushioned.
Yeah, especially to an elven army known for their great archers.
Well, these guys aren't so great.
Yeah, that's true. But to talk to the chat real quick, I did see ladders, a few to be fair. What we're saying is they appeared when they needed to be there, right when they were being used. Like in the Lord of the Rings battles that we were talking about, we saw the siege towers coming up. We saw them carrying ladders. It set it up. The strategy was clear from the very beginning, whereas there's no ladders to be seen up until they start leaning them against the wall.
And when they get, the only thing they have is the Ravager to make a weak point in the wall. To make a weak point in the wall, and they have only one Ravager.
I've never even heard of that.
I don't know.
That's not a thing in real life where it cuts pieces out of the wall. It's so stupid.
It's like a reverse crossbow design.
It's so dumb.
So they're charging here for no reason. I don't see ladders. They're not even protecting the Ravager.
Why would you charge? Yeah, why would you charge at a wall without ladders?
And why? And if your goal
Where are
is
you
to
gonna
protect
go?
the Ravager, you would have a shield wall around the Ravager to protect it. But they're just pushing it forward, no problems, and they're all just dying. Now, okay, once again, chick who's hotter than Galadriel. She is here to simply say they have a Ravager.
She's just the wall announcer.
Yeah, she has no.
She stands on the wall and announces what's happening.
But she's not a warrior. She's a goldsmith.
Every scene she's in, she's on the wall announcing what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, did I miss the "you begged for it" part?
Well, no, they haven't tossed her over yet.
I do have to say one thing
before
though.
that when Sauron comes in.
Oh, we're not there.
Him
Well,
the
right,
brother-
Yeah, that's we're not there yet.
Smooth said it. Wall announcer.
God, I thought I was gone long enough to come back and just still already be halfway over.
Go ahead, Rachel.
So like we've been saying how the elves are known for like their battle prowess and everything, but one thing that stood out to me was when that first arrow hit the elf and knocked him down, and the others looked back at him terrified. That just like hit me of like, who are these weak ass elves?
Yeah.
Like, aren't they supposed to be warriors, fierce and strong? And they just like look at one fallen comrade, they practically give up.
You got to take into account that a lot of the elves that are present in this city are Noldor elves, which means they took part in wars in the First Age. They've seen battle. They're not cowards.
Yeah, the War of Wrath. This is nothing compared to that.
But at the same time, these are still professional soldiers. That's one of the things I love about Two Towers when the elves come to support them at the Battle of Helm's Deep. When they show up, they're so professional. I just love the look of it. These guys are going.
Yeah,
the thing that you guys aren't recognizing are these are a bunch of twinks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dermy.
What were you saying, Rachel?
Hey, Dermy.
No. I already said it. It's just
You're lucky
it's just
I didn't
sad.
say what I wanted to say. Yeah. I had to recognize we're not on my channel.
Yeah.
All right, Rachel, do you want to talk about the elven armor right here that everyone in?
You know, I have seen tweets saying, "Rings of Power does it again with awesome armor with this particular picture, this set."
No,
the helmets aren't even on right.
Yeah, there's two scenes, like just the armor that they have here, like all the chipped paint looks super weird to me.
Yeah,
like it's supposed to look, I don't know, like battle worn or something, but these guys
don't
look like they've ever seen battle.
I saw one elf's armor. It was like almost completely green, and I was like, "What is going on here?"
It
Your
kind of
armor-
reminded me of like oxidizing copper and stuff like that. and
Yeah.
it just looked hideous.
The main argument from season 1 was that nothing looked like it was ever lived in or like worn or anything. So I think they were trying to do that, but didn't really pull it off.
Yeah, but they made
They
it
did
look
it for the wrong people. These
made
are
it
the
look-
city watch at
Yeah.
a Region.
Yeah, the armor would be pristine.
Oh, here's the rape scene.
Oh,
All right, I didn't call it that.
I have to have fun in this somehow.
Celebrimbor breaks out of the delusion. He throws his grandfather's hammer. It's not Mjolnir. It's not coming back.
Just out the window.
The thing is, we forgot to show it earlier. There was like jewels and stuff missing from the hammer, so
that's part of
it
the
actually his grandfather's hammer or whatnot. I think that
Feanor's armor or a hammer.
Was it Feanor's hammer? Was it not? And
I think it was. I think it's just suffering from.
Yeah, it was the
decay.
battle damage. Like the jewel was gone when the illusion fell, or it slipped up a little bit. But Sauron's been controlling the sound of the battle this whole time. Why does breaking the glass make a difference? Because that glass isn't thick enough to hold back the sound on its own. So the illusion has built-in sound suppression. Why does it fail right then?
Because reasons.
The illusion. Well, listen. The
plot.
illusion also has the ability to protect him from debris.
At least make him think he's been protected.
Oh wait, hang on. I went by it. We went by it. Sorry, I was. Now here it comes. I think I went by it.
When he
blood.
finally, yeah.
Is it okay? Is it just me, or do none of the elves in this show actually look like elves?
No, well, this isn't an elf. This is. Oh wait, we were talking.
I mean, he.
Oh no, wait. The elf. I'm sorry. The blood is after the breakout. Yeah, sorry.
Not to say the guy that plays Celebrimbor isn't a good actor.
He is a good actor. He's been in a lot of good British productions, just not this.
He's too old to be depicting an elf.
A lot of
elves have a very youthful look to them, and they're very angelic in appearance. He does not have that look.
Yeah.
All right, here's the moment. He's seen it all. Here comes the thumbnail we all love to use.
See, he should have. There's no way he did not get mortally injured.
There's blood on his face. So he got hurt a little bit from it.
But how do you not feel that? How do you not realize that?
That's when he realized he had a butt plug in.
Oh, God damn it.
That's what he's been forging out of the mithril the entire time.
That's where the real hammer is.
And this is when Sauron says, "You practically begged me to do it." You know?
Here's the reveal. Here's the reveal that it wasn't mithril; it was Sauron's blood. Guys, look, he cut his hand last episode. Jed, this is payoff.
All right, so to give some so they didn't actually specify in the books how he invested his power into the rings. However, when in the movies, there's a scene that was cut out of the movies where Sauron actually cuts his hand, and he puts his blood into the creating of the One Ring. Now they never state that. There's nothing that ever states that for the other rings.
Alf, you just walked right into what I said in my own review. That they're saying that I inferred from this scene that when he says, "You've taught me so much," when he lifts his hand up and shows, I missed it. When he lifts his hand up and he does this right here, I said in my review, is this supposed to be where he gets the idea to put everything that's him into the One Ring? Is that what they're inferring here?
In the books, there was nothing that stated that he used his blood into the lesser rings. He just gave his crafting experience to Celebrimbor when he was making the rings.
So this is them.
So was there mithril in there? Was there not mithril in there?
No, there's in the 9. There's no mithril in the 9.
There's no mithril. It was never stated. None of the rings. It was ever stated that there was mithril in the rings.
That's Rings of Power.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. But in this,
he just bled all over the place and then handed it off to him and said, "Here's mithril."
Yeah, he's already in the illusion.
So nobody has 8s.
So yeah, I think it will.
Well, Celebrimbor definitely has it.
Yeah, I mean, he had it already. But I think it would have been a funny scene in the illusion where he's trying to forge the 9, right? And he keeps trying to take the mithril out of the pouch and put it in, but it keeps slipping. And he's just like, "Come on, damn it. Come on. I need a mithril."
He just goes like this. He'll go like this. There should be smears on his face for when he's touching it. Like, oh man!
Here's
so hot in here.
I love my mithril. Wait, what's this?
This is my thing. Okay. So he was pouring blood into it the whole time. What other metals were you adding? Because if not, you shouldn't have ring.
It took Sauron about 38 seconds to get the stuff he needed for the rings.
Stop. No. So
we're not doing that.
So Celebrimbor going to stumble outside and instantly catch a stray. He's going to catch a stray instantly.
This
if he didn't die in the workshop, he died.
He got yeeted over the railing.
But yeah, this might hurt you. But Smooth saying it's like when Osha bled her kyber crystal.
Oh, this is so gay.
All right, so he's gonna stumble over to the ramparts and try and tell everybody it's Sauron. It's Sauron. And she's like, "What are you, crazy old man? You've been lying to us." And this is the best part. Let's just get right to it.
Oh, the force push.
First,
look at his blood.
Look at his blood. Oh, no, wrong here. Now
it's red.
Does that
it's red?
Does that kind of look like the Eye of Sauron right there?
Everything looks like the Eye of Sauron,
doesn't it?
Yeah. I will say I didn't mind this scene because the whole premise is to show Celebrimbor as going crazy. If you randomly walk up to a person who really thinks you're crazy and start talking about a random mouse and candles not burning and that the guy has black blood and then he shows his hand not to have black blood, yeah, this would make sense.
All right, here it comes.
Anybody would say that this is retarded.
Let's get you back to the tower. Get over me, Force Bush. Ah!
Okay. Fucking bullshit. That is not the kind of power Sauron has. He doesn't have force powers.
What are you talking about? Didn't you see his hand twitch? That's how it works.
What
in this show, maybe.
He does now.
So inconsistent.
What is his human powers?
Well, in the lore, he does not have force powers.
No telekinesis?
No.
No.
He just twitch his wrist and people go flying off a balcony.
Well,
no.
she did, and she didn't die on impact, and now the orcs are going to butcher her. Aww. That's what happens when
I was like, yes, kill her.
That's what happens when you don't have plot armor in the show. You're created to die in place of people who have plot armor.
Good, so then you don't have to stay in this travesty of a show for longer than you have to.
Why anyone would sign on for this show, I don't know.
Money. A lot of money in Amazon. So now it basically says, finish the night and I'll spare everybody. Okay?
Save them all.
As if he's in control of anything, Jed. Like you say all the time. Sauron's not in control of any of these events.
Yeah, he's not doing shit.
Yeah. So,
well, he's bleeding.
Thanks. Okay, here we go.
This is retarded.
Now we hear the horn. Here they come.
I gotta say something here.
Here we go.
This is a repurpose of Rohan showing up at the Battle of Pelennor Fields. This is exactly what it is.
You're not wrong.
Oh, don't you guys? But don't you guys like the effects of the elves riding on all of their white horses and the light following them?
Copy and paste and copy and paste and copy and.
And I'd like to say this is a lot like the last ride of the Rohirrim. If it was super
I saw
gay,
it more as
if it was absolutely super gay.
It also does have similarities to when Gandalf showed up at the Battle of Helm's Deep because it was the whole.
I was stating that the fact that he blew the horn, that was
that was very.
The orcs are going, yeah, come on, yeah. Now, I was hearing people talk about Gil-galad's here. I didn't see Gil-galad.
He shows up eventually, but I didn't see him.
Somebody said he's here. I see diversity higher. I see diversity higher.
X-ray.
Wait, we get to
right here's Elrond.
No, so
who's a herald? They don't know what the word herald.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Yes.
There.
I must have literally looked away from the screen. I must have looked away from the screen.
But
I forgot.
Where is this army from? He sent the army to Mordor.
It's what's left of Lindon.
Those would be the army from Lindon, which had to cross probably 200 miles.
No, this is the army from Michael's craft store.
Had to cross 200 miles to get there, and those helmets look like penis helmets.
So they're going to charge.
They're so light that it doesn't even push their hair down. Like it looks like it's floating on top of their hair.
It's the exact same fucking charge from fucking season 1.
Wait till he puts the helmet back on after the parlay. It's like you see the hair. Anyway, so now they charge, and I was looking really close. I was trying to see if I could copy, if I find any copies here, but we're not going to play that game. But so here are the orcs, and that's a full charge, dude. That's a full charge. You're at a spearhead formation.
You can't stop that.
Yeah,
I like what Smooth says. Last ride of the gay Hiram.
Yeah,
I fucking laughed when they started pulling it out. I was laughing.
Now we all know what's in there. We all knew exactly what's in that
card.
Yep.
So I gotta say this: elves are.
Wait for it. Oh
no! Just run. Just keep riding. Elrond, just keep going. Keep going.
Yep. Just keep going. Get it over with.
The elves are agile enough and good enough riders of horses. They would have gone around her and still killed the orcs.
Yeah, but she's bleeding on the neck.
Yeah, there's a knife in her throat.
Bleeding on the neck.
All they needed was one arrow to the one orc that had the knife to her throat, and they would have kept charging. That would have been fine.
Just let the Asian one take care of him.
Yeah.
But now,
did anybody else notice?
What happened to the formation?
Yeah, it wasn't a spearhead anymore.
It's just we're gonna
just
pull
stopped.
Dead stop
and how lame is this that they got the shadow on one side and the light on the other?
What we were talking about earlier.
and
it doesn't work like that.
And it's a lot different for the Battle of Pelennor Fields because people are bringing it up. There's a lot difference between volcanic ash in the sky controlled by Sauron versus, we fired 20 trebuchet fireballs into the sky and it made some smoke and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's what they were doing for the weeks that he was working on the rings. They were just filling the sky with smoke.
And you guys know why that Sauron was making a volcanic ash before the orcs do not like sunlight. Sunlight makes them weaker.
But they don't know that in this show. They just think...
They think they're vampires. They get a little sunburn.
But they don't even recognize the whole sunlight hurts them thing.
It makes them weaker. They can still function in sunlight, but it makes them weaker. They can't fight in battle when they're in sunlight.
Unless you're a white orc. Yeah. If you're a white orc, you can do it.
Then it's fine.
That's true.
It's fine. Yeah.
But I want to see if anybody else noticed in the close-up shot that we have with Galadriel where she gets cut in the neck, right? Because of how dark it's lit, it looks like Sauron's black blood. Really? It's just so dark that's immediately what I thought.
So she's Sauron.
Yeah, she's Sauron. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
She got blacked.
Not yet.
I think it's still red. It's just very dark. Yeah, look how dark it is.
Smooth says these orcs are daywalkers.
So they come to a perfect stop. The formation's just gone. That doesn't happen. You cannot. That is a full charge. You are not pulling up that short.
Yeah, you can't stop a force of horses charging that fast, that quickly.
So now it's parlay time. And because I missed it, I didn't comment on this in my review, and I've heard others comment on it. Gil-galad, he's there. He would be...
He's the High King.
He would be talking.
He'd be the one doing the
he is the High King. He's the High King of all elves in Middle Earth. Why isn't he in there?
I saw someone try to argue that on Twitter, saying, "Well, Elrond's a herald. He's finally doing herald things. Heralds don't negotiate; they deliver messages."
I could, if I was gonna do an argument, I would do the argument that this is Elrond's battle. Elrond's the commander. That's why they did it. But that's still not a good.
But
argument.
He's right there.
Yeah,
he's there,
right there.
And besides the fact that the orcs would never parlay.
Well, yeah, but Adar.
But Adar's a fake elf.
Right,
but he's there, so you got to work with the show.
Long story short, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of bluster and bluffing on Fenrir's
Give me the
part.
ring, if not,
you have the ring.
Yeah, you have the ring. But when Galadriel speaks at the beginning of it, Adar yells, "If she speaks one more time, cut out her tongue." And Rachel and I were just cheering, "Speak, bitch! That's all you do. Fucking speak."
Yes, say something, bitch.
Yeah. Here's the problem with all this right here, and I bring it up over and over again. Plot armor, no plot armor.
You're talking about the chubby-faced elf on the right?
Yeah, one of the band of diverse.
The one that we don't give a shit about?
But Galadriel has plot armor. Nothing's going to happen to her. So I hate fake tension. Mm-hmm. I hate it. So let's skip over this. They're going to back and forth. Do you have the ring? I don't have the ring. He has the ring. So dumb. So here it comes. Mm-hmm. If she's going to die, can I at least say goodbye to her?
Why would Adar let him do it? He's clearly not getting the negotiation he wants. If it was like an almost thing, yeah, I could see Adar doing that. But no, it's over.
I noticed as he walked, his hand goes to his shoulder. He's going to take the thing off, and here it comes. Here it comes.
God, I hate this.
Now, let me say something first, and then I'll let Alf go first on this one because I know he has the most pent up rage. There it is.
Moochie.
Right out of Brazzers. Right out of Brazzers. Here's the thing.
I think Derby kissing his bike was gayer than that.
All right.
Actually.
Let me go first. No, here's the thing. One. As cringe and horrible as it is, and as retarded as it is a distraction. As I said in my review, it's a distraction so he can hand off the clasp so she pick a lock. To me, it's just so stupid. They could have done this any other way. There are many other ways of embracing, and they love to touch foreheads in this show. Well, they could have touched foreheads.
That's that's all modern shows nowadays.
They could have done that for the handoff.
That would have been much better. Holy shit.
They had to do shipping bullshit. Cringe shipping bullshit. Alf,
well, he's only kissing her because he's never going to get pegged.
Shut up, Dermot. Let Alf go first.
Fuck this show. That's his future mother-in-law. By this point, he's already dating her daughter. He's been dating her for several hundred years. So they might as well be married. So, and where is her husband? Where's her husband? It's just,
he's right there watching.
This is all fucking yeah. It's probably Eitr, but fuck this bullshit. And the people are saying, "Oh well, it was a distraction." Okay, he could have done anything else. He could have kissed her on the cheek. He could have said something in her ear, like really close, and whispered her and done the handoff. He didn't have to do a passionate kiss.
But we know. Sensual. I would say passionate. It's sensual. It's soft.
But either way, we know what that was for. We know it was for all the wine moms and shippers in the audience. It's bullshit.
It's for the fan artists on Twitter who came out of Tumblr who do all that creepy crap that I'm forced to see.
The show needs to be thrown into the depths of hell and locked there for eternity. This shit is awful.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Well, I do have a lore question for Alf from the scene. So, I don't know the deep lore very well. I know little tidbits and stuff, but Maiar and Valar are different things, right?
The Valar are so you have God, Eru Iluvatar. That is God. You have the Valar. They're like the senior angels, I guess you could call them. Then you have the Maiar. The Maiar are like the lower angels.
Perfect. But they are very clearly different things. They call his Elrond's ancestor Melian Valar when she was actually a Maiar.
Right. She was a Maiar, which means he's part Maiar, but very, very small part.
Isn't his dad a Maiar now?
So it's complicated because Elrond was the brother of the first Númenórean. So Elrond was born to a human and an elf parent. So at that point, this was at the beginning of the Second Age, him and his brother were given the opportunity to choose if they wanted to be an elf or a human. His brother chose human and became the leader of the Númenóreans. He became elf and became what he ended up becoming. So he's actually part human, but because at that juncture, because of from now on, anybody that is part human, part elf, they always make them go the human route, so that they don't have, they can't become immortal from that point on. So it was only that one point where he gave them a junction where he gave them a choice. You can be human or you can be an elf, and that's where it went. So he is part human, he's part elf, and he's part Maiar. But he's only like 6% Maya. So
yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like a complicated lore thing to get that difference right, but of course the show gets it wrong. Everything's Valar. Yeah. They keep saying Valar. They love that word. It's the one word from lore that they know, so they put it in anywhere they can possibly slip it in.
Yeah. So yeah, the Valar are like Dermy said, they're like the archangels, and the Maiar are like the minor angels. That's the closest thing I can equate them to in our world is angels. And Eru Iluvatar is God in this universe.
So that the whole thing there, it's cringe as fuck, is what it is, and it didn't need to happen. But as you've all said it quite nicely, it was done for the shippers.
In the chat, real quick, Listless Receptionist says, "I thought Sauron was a Maiar. He is, as well as the wizards are Maiar,
but they have limiters on, and he didn't."
Yeah, exactly. The wizards had limiters. They were given old elderly bodies, even though they were basically immortal on Earth. They were given elderly bodies, so they couldn't overly influence.
They believed that beings on Earth would view a elderly being with more respect.
Right, and
less fear.
Exactly, and being in limited bodies, it meant that they couldn't conquer the world if, say, they took a dark turn, like Sauron. Sauron didn't have those limitations, but by the Third Age, he had limitations because his physical body was destroyed when Numenor was destroyed.
So now Elrond. So we're that whole thing. It didn't need to happen. They did it for the weirdos. Plain and simple.
The weirdos and to pad the runtime.
I guess. Yeah.
So listen, they're in a war right now with orcs, surrounded by orcs, and they're not dying.
They let him leave.
How retarded this all is.
And that gets even worse. So he's going to tell him now, I'm going to let they're talking in Elvish. You go off.
No. The dude's talking in English. Elrond's talking in Elvish.
Oh, well,
it's
Elrond's well, either way, yeah, you're right. You are right.
It should all be in Elvish with orcs
they should
around.
all be talking in Elvish. There's no...
Yeah, but either way, he's going to tell him, you go hook up with my boyfriend. He's going to have some troops for you. You guys will cut. We're going to hold out for... Now, they literally say 1 night. We can now specifically say they give us a time span. We're going to hold for 1 more night. You'll come from the north on the dawn.
Night.
So
1 night to get from Khazad-dûm to Eregion.
Yeah. So they literally just... They can't... No one with the brain power of an amoeba can argue that more time passed, because it literally... Elrond says here, we're going to hold out for 1 more night. And he's going to go get him, Khazad-dûm. I think we go to Khazad-dûm
and
after
look
this.
to the north.
Look to the north.
Look at his helmet. He's going to put it on.
Oh, yeah, watch the helmet.
Watch the hair.
Watch the helmet.
Look at that. I saw it too. I know.
Yep.
It's made of like rubber. It like stretches when he pulls it on, and it just...
It's not heavy enough to flatten his hair, and the parts where his cheeks would go bend in. They like flap a little bit. You know that's made of foam.
You know, we know how to make these things called hats.
All right.
Why can't we just design that?
Even armor helmets, they're metal. They're not going to flex like that.
They couldn't find the armorers from the Lord of the Rings, at least one of them, just for shots like that.
Just one close-up helmet.
That's too close to Peter Jackson.
Just make like 3 pieces of armor. Crazy.
Doesn't cost that much.
Here we go.
I have a question though before we go.
Okay.
So Elrond had already said 1 more night. We just need to hold out for 1 more night. And then we cut to the dwarves. He's gonna like rally them up. So in 1 night, he's gonna get all the dwarves on his side, get them geared up, and go all the way to Eregion.
Yeah.
All
Apparently
that's gonna happen in 1 night.
That would take like a week.
I liked his little like gathering.
Well, that's not the speech yet. Now Galadriel's going to break free while he's giving his speech.
Oh yeah, and it just keeps cutting in with dramatic music to everything else that's going on.
Look at that ring, man. He just look at them all. Look at them. They're all done in a day. They were just regular bands a minute ago.
So
38 seconds does a lot of work.
Now let's take a note right here. There's a lot of slack on that chain. Just remember that. There's a lot of slack on that chain. We'll come back to it.
And that's a really weird looking manacle around the actual wrist. Just that design is bizarre.
And that would kind of encumber his ability to work.
No, absolutely.
It would have made more sense. It would have made more sense to put on a leg shackle than an arm shackle for a crafter.
Adam, you're not putting the right thought process in. Those are chains that were specifically used between Sauron and Celebrimbor.
God damn it, Dermy. I don't need your personal insight on how sex chains work. Okay, I don't need that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be fuzzy, but he took off the fuzzy because he's upset.
I don't need that. He's still talking. I believe. Yeah, here we go.
All right. So I do want to point out something here. So Durin is talking to the rallying troops, right? And he spends 90% of the speech talking to 10 people in front of him,
and then he goes.
Just talk to everyone the whole time. We've seen in a previous episode the King Durin talking there, and everyone can hear him. There's some acoustic thing about it that the dwarves can do. I can actually buy that. Then just do that to the entire army. Why talk to 10 people and then switch to everyone for the final line?
I know.
My only problem with Durin's speech is he should have added in, and we're gonna do better than those damn dirty knife ears. And the only reason that would have worked, and I mean, doing the whole knife ears thing as a joke. But
remember season 1? They said knife ears in season 1 because somebody watched goddamn Dragon Age.
I'm bringing it up here because dwarves and elves have, rivalry and, try to show off that we could do better than them. That would be fun. And there's a nice reason for the rivalry.
So the rivalry is between specific dwarf and elf.
What's an orf?
An orc and a dwarf?
Well, that's that's a dwarven orphan.
No, there's a
hairy
specific.
orc.
There's very specific rivalries between dwarves and elves, and it's specific factions of dwarves and elves, and you see that in the Hobbit movies when they deal with what's his name, Legolas' father. Thranduil.
That's different. That's an actual.
That's different.
That's real beef.
Yeah, that's an actual beef. But you could have,
which
you
is
could have
why
taken some lore there and actually added.
Which
in
is
there.
why when the lead dwarf meets Elrond, there's no beef for Elrond. Elrond's like, "What are you talking about?"
All right, so we have to take note here that during the speech, during the third is going to take an axe and apparently go kick Deez's ass.
I want to see this fight, not necessarily the diesel one, but they say he annihilates a bunch of people.
Those dwarf helmets with the eyes, I'll give credit where credit's due. They actually don't look too bad.
They're kind of weird.
I did think that they were kind of cool actually when I saw that.
They're cool and weird all at the same time.
Yeah, mm-hmm. They are definitely weird.
He rallies the troops. Look, so apparently only Disa and the Seneschal are the only ones on guard duty at the mine.
Apparently,
I'm gonna wait till we get to the revelation scene because something gets asked that I'm very curious about.
All right, so let's get through it. So
I want to know if anybody else saw this, though. With the framing of Durin, when he was talking to those 10 guys, his head was covering the doorway behind him most of the time. And we saw King Durin pick up his axe dramatically. Was I the only one who thought that King Durin might take a swing at Prince Durin? Because that's a classic framing shot. Your head covering the door for someone to sneak up behind you.
To be honest, I thought maybe
I didn't.
The moment he heard the whole greed part, maybe that would have snapped him out a little bit. So I thought maybe he would like come up beside him.
So we kind of glossed over the whole point of the speech. Dwarves like to fight.
Yeah.
Let's fight.
Let's fight.
Yeah.
Let's fight.
Rally the troops. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, now I have to remark on this. So now the battle's commenced. So let's stop for a second. Wait. Let's remember this. Think about this now. So now the battle begins. So you're telling me that Eitr just let Elrond's forces go right up to the wall, essentially. They just let him go.
As soon as Elrond decided we're not treating anymore and I'm done, they would have killed him right there.
Yeah, that too. So none of this battle doesn't make sense. What happened to that orc line? There was a literal orc line to keep them from getting to the city. So, but now they just let them go? It doesn't make any sense.
It's called being gentlemanly.
And we will remark again on the fact that Elrond should not even be here. He never made it in time in the real lore.
But we needed horse foo.
The kick. I forgot about the kick.
There's a lot of it. Like
I forgot
when the horse
here it comes. Here it comes. Wait for it.
Wait, no,
I missed it
right at the beginning. Yeah, it was right at the beginning when I yelled horse foo. It
looks so bad. It just back kicks it.
Yeah.
Woo!
He goes, hi.
Yeah, it just kicks that guy. You're right. I had totally forgotten that when I was doing my review. So, but this cavalry army, not even acting like a cavalry army, is just kind of
they lost all advantage of being on horseback by having a pitched battle like this.
Now,
they're on the horse, but they just stop in the middle of battle. You're supposed to keep rolling through, just cutting people down.
And this choreography is dog shit. It's a lot of close-ups, a lot of cutaways.
It makes the battle so small.
We also forgot Elrond got really angry because his horse got killed, and he felt bad because he's no longer going to have that horse cock.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it, really.
I have to find joy somehow.
Hey, so Adam, I got to add some lore here. So you said earlier that Elrond never actually fought at Eregion. He did.
We didn't get there in time. He didn't get there in time.
He did.
Walls.
He did. In the book,
but it was over. They were already sacking it, right?
In the books, he did. Now I'll quote this paragraph right here. During the War of the Elves and the Dark Lord Sauron in the Second Age, King Gil-galad sent Elrond to the defense of Eregion against the Dark Lord. Sauron destroyed Eregion and surrounded Elrond's army, but the Dwarf King Durin and the Elf King of Lorien, Amroth, attacked Sauron's rear guard, so that they rescued Elrond from being destroyed.
But what I mean, when I say he didn't get there in time, I mean by the time he got there, you just said it.
Yeah. It was already destroyed.
That's what I mean.
He got there and attacked Sauron and got overwhelmed.
But he got routed and he retreated to what would eventually become Rivendell.
And what I said is that the dwarves actually made it in time to save Elrond from being destroyed.
Okay, that part I didn't know. But he did what I meant. But what I meant by him not making their time is that he didn't get there in time to make a difference. Eregion was lost by the time he got there.
Right.
And he was routed and he retreated to what would eventually become Rivendell and took all the refugees in there. None of this should be happening. And he ganks the. That is so retarded.
It's retarded, but now you also just hurt somebody just for a cool shot,
dude. That scene where he launched the orc at the wall on the catapult, I laughed my ass off.
He just cried over his dead horse.
So dumb.
It's so stupid.
He doesn't know where they're aiming. He could have damaged the wall.
Yeah,
that's what the trebuchet's for.
All right, so now
stupid.
Nighttime is upon us now. Nighttime is upon us. The Ravager's doing its job, and here we get. Number one son Orc tells Daddy Eitr, "Why are you doing this? Don't you love us? I love you with all that's left in my heart."
Those lines are so cringe.
Number one son, but
first
listen,
class writing.
You love us. I know you love us, but I have a orc wife and an orc baby back home.
I'm sorry. I just need to the whole you have to hammer an anchor into the wall to pull it out with the Ravager. It's so fucking stupid. It would just yank right out. It wouldn't even pull the wall with it.
That is not based on any. That is not based on anything real world in our history at all.
It's
because it couldn't work.
Yeah,
because the amount of time it has to sit close to the wall. It's the difference with a catapult. It sits far back and it shoots at the wall.
And are you telling me a couple of elves couldn't just have dropped a bit of debris boulders and just broken the whole goddamn thing?
Boiling water was a common one. Oil.
Pitch.
Fire.
Boiling pitch.
Yeah, catch it on fire.
Yep.
It's wooden. They don't have a shield wall around it or a shield dome around it. They're just, we're just going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they used to have the basher where it would, hit the gate over and over. That was an actual siege unit.
Yeah.
But they had multiple of those because they knew one was going to get destroyed.
But they only have the one Ravager. They got the one Ravager. That's it.
Wait, they only have one?
Only the one
that we see.
I've lost track of everything.
No, it's only the one because they make a point that say that's the weakest. At one point they say that's the weakest part of the wall. So they only have the one.
Does say that. That's true.
They only have the one.
And they made such a big deal out of destroying it, which that was the first time I nearly died, was when she destroyed it.
So Galadriel's gone, and her brilliant costume is a cloak with a hood.
Yeah.
This is when she mud on your face, do some blackface
with her blonde hair flowing outside the hood.
Yeah. And listen, you got to make. She runs right across a female orc, so we're supposed to believe, there are female orcs there, so she's just going to blend right in with the cloak.
Well, they have somebody to have to prep all the meals. I mean, she's about to stumble on the grill.
Well, we do see someone doing it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was one point where there was this orc just pouring soup when the cry to charge was given. So he dropped his soup and ran.
Yeah, that's at the end.
So you're saying soup was on the menu that night?
Yeah. And now they have meat on the menu.
This whole scene right here is done just so we can see Eitr crying over the funeral pyres.
Yeah.
That's it.
Listen, are we sure that these are funeral pyres? Considering orcs.
Listen, we're not cannibals like you are, okay?
No,
these aren't the Harfoots.
Yeah.
These aren't the Harfoots.
Orcs
don't. The orcs are.
They're dead.
No, the Uruk-hai had no problem eating the other orcs. These are just orcs.
Orcs don't mourn their dead. They don't.
Yeah. There it is. The cry. There's the cry.
Yeah, of course, they had to humanize the orcs.
Yeah.
Orcs will eat other orcs. They even showed it in fucking.
Those were Uruk-hai.
No,
orcs.
They did show orcs eating other orcs in Two Towers as well. It was not just Uruk-hai; it was also orcs on there. One of them did say that we would eat each other.
Let me specify: orcs don't care about life. They don't care about their own people.
Yeah.
All they care about is what their masters are telling them to do. They are. That's why they eat each other.
All right, she's gonna get caught. Sorry, finish your thought.
The lore guy's on my side.
Orcs don't give a shit. They don't treasure life. They are evil to the heart. That's just how they are. They don't care. Yeah. They're not about building a civilization. They're about just following whatever orders their current master tells them to do.
Not in this show.
No. This show sucks.
No.
Now,
all I know for sure is I won the debate right there because the lore guy was on my side.
There was no debate. Only in your
they
mind.
were eating each other.
There's just debate in your mind, along with all the other sick shit in there.
And I agree with what Gary says when they talked about birthing of orcs. I think it's just a giant pit. They grow them, and then the strongest survive. I think that's how it works.
See,
they never go into detail about how orcs reproduce.
See, not Tolkien orcs. I mean, for an example, Warhammer orcs, they're born from spores. And they latch onto shit and then mutate, and sometimes the mutant ones are the biggest ones that become war bosses.
I know, but
I'm saying as an example. That's all.
But in Two Towers, they show how the Uruk-hai are born. They're produced out of the mud.
Yeah, it's
so
alchemy.
I'm not sure exactly. Alchemy. Yeah, so as far as regular orcs, I don't know, but I could see them just being thrown into a pit, and the strongest survive and go on to become part of the army. You know?
Yeah, like they're sea turtle creatures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the weakest ones get eaten.
Galadriel gets busted trying to escape. Now, I'm really surprised they didn't have her fight her way out, but then when I realized who was there, oh no, of course, Black Man's got a saber.
Yeah, that's okay. If it had been Elrond, it would have been a problem.
No. So Legolas the Black arrives. So Legolas the Black has been effing off since he got there. And he's going to arrive here. No, Mark.
Oh, no. He's been traveling like 1,400 miles, so
he just got
walking.
there, though, at the beginning of the day.
I know.
He needed to take a nap.
Now,
he fast traveled.
Let me set this stage for you here. So he rescues Galadriel. She, of course, remembers him from the 5 minutes she met him last season. And she says, "Can we get out of here?" He says, "No, I'm here for one purpose only." And when they do it, you get a shot, right? I don't know if I can get it right here, but we do get a shot of the fact that they are within eyesight of Eitr.
Oh, he's got a great chance to hit him. Got a great line of sight. Got an easy
one
shot.
mission. I'm here for revenge.
Yeah,
and
I'm going to kill Eitr.
It's in the forest at night, and he's a wood elf. I still think he has a good chance on foot to outrun some orcs. You don't know exactly where he is.
That doesn't even matter. But that's it. Take the shot. Take the shot.
Take the shot.
Eitr is crying over the dead bodies of his kids. He is not paying attention. You have a clean shot for an elf. That's as clean a shot as you ever need, right there. Distance don't matter. What does Galadriel say? No, don't do it. Enough elven heroes have died. Let's get out of here. So once again, Galadriel shows her infinite wisdom of don't kill the only leader in this iteration that the orcs have, because we haven't seen a single orc commander. There's just
they would
Eitr.
be routed.
It would be classic war. It would be classic war boss mentality. War boss dead. Nobody here to make us fight anymore. We're gonna run away. Mm-hmm. That's it. Every death that Eitr causes, every tragedy Eitr causes from this point forward is Galadriel's fault.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, she was being selfish. She was worried about getting hunted down by the orcs in the forest. It was just to protect herself. I doubt she cared if Arondir died in the process.
Well, Arondir is really going to be feeling like, God damn it, Galadriel, what the fuck did you not make me do later on in this episode?
They try to set up, we're going to get that one-on-one between Eitr and Legolas the Black.
That lasted 2 seconds.
That's going to be great. So they get the hell out of there. They run. He knows a secret way into the thing. Now, here we go. We're ready. We're ready to march. The dwarves are ready to march. And here's the problem. Like Alf pointed out, even though they get there, they don't change anything. Nothing changes.
All they did is save Elrond's army.
So
from getting destroyed.
At this point here, to have them actually get there could have been closer to lore. I made that mistake in my review because what I read didn't indicate that they got there. What I checked on before I did my review, but even if they got there, it wouldn't have changed anything. So let's not even have them get there at all, because we're squishing the timeline. Because here comes Seneschal Man, who's going to say the king tore through all of us.
So
with an axe. and we don't know the fate of Disa. Oh, she ain't dead yet.
Oh, at this point,
her plot armor lasts for one more episode at least. Okay.
Yeah.
One more episode.
She's got to fight the Balrog.
At this point, they're trying to allude that the king has extra like Thor powers because he's got the ring. That's not how the ring works.
No,
it doesn't make him. It doesn't give him those kind of powers. Go ahead.
They say
Jeremy.
something very specific. Are they trying to wake the beast? Is he?
And
trying
there
to
it
wake
is,
the
Jeremy.
beast?
You got to the next point.
What
Wait,
beast?
they have not established anything of that yet. Last time we heard about that, Disa was going, and something went, and that was the last time we heard of it. No one has established there's a Balrog or anything there.
Yep.
And if this is supposed to be the end of the Second Age, it's another 2,000 years before the actual Balrog wakes up.
That was my next point. They have crunched the time again to have this happen alongside a Region, so that's why the dwarves didn't get there. So it's just
which is funny because
wrong.
the destruction of a Region happened around 1700 of the Second Age. The destruction of Numenor happened around the end of the Second Age, which is around 33 or 3,400 years.
Yeah.
And then another 2,000 years for the Balrog to show up. And they squished all that together.
And they haven't even started mining anything yet. Just a leaf fell and Disa sang and it woke up. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they seem to know what's down there.
And
I would wake up if Disa was singing.
Oh, God. True. and maybe Sauron talked you through a flame. Now, he says to him, if you leave now, you might not have your kingdom when you come back. So guess what? He's not going to leave. So now it's time to get
the way that they do this cut, just the way it's framed with the beast might wake up, I got the implication that they were trying to say that Sauron is in communication with the Balrog.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, you're absolutely
trying to egg it on to keep the dwarves distracted.
And I think the stands have been saying that this entire season, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The other thought process I had was, is the beast Disa? Because they were talking about Disa, then jumped into the beast. So is the beast Disa?
So is Disa the Balrog?
Is she gonna get possessed? Balrog looks like a demon, so
she's the Balrog. She gets angry and gets all flamed.
I don't like this line of conversation. It hurts. It hurts because then you realize what I have to do next episode when I review it. I gotta come up with new nicknames and everything. I don't want to do this. But Jed's right. It makes it look like he's talking here, and I'm ignoring you now. We now get the first of two ridiculous conversations.
I don't know what I was doing during this scene because I don't remember much of this.
You were masturbating. We know what you were doing.
Probably.
So right now, this is where we now harken back to what they said before this season started. This is Sauron's story because he's misunderstood. He makes the argument, I was tortured by Morgoth. And I never wanted to do things the way Morgoth wanted to do, but he tortured me, and it was a game of pain and suffering and my willpower being stronger than his. At least that's what I caught from all this shit. And you don't know what it's like to be tortured by a god. And then the line, oh, of course I don't. But I'm not torturing you. You brought this upon yourself.
So Morgoth.
Yeah, I really don't know what I was doing during this scene because I don't remember any of this.
Going back to our conversation of the Valar Maiar, so Morgoth was a Valar, and Sauron was a Maiar. So just for reference, that's why Morgoth was like 30 or 40 foot tall compared to Sauron. And when
three heads, one of which was a lion.
At the end of the First Age, when they defeated Morgoth, they sent all the Valar and destroyed half the continent of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Like it's under the ocean now at this point. That's what happens that's why when in the Third Age, that's why they sent the wizards, because they discovered that when they send the Valar to do the gods' bidding, it destroys half the planet. So they decided to send the wizards to influence instead of sending the Valar in.
Yeah. So this entire scene is just one giant lore FU to Tolkien. Because they try to make the thing that Sauron, it's not his fault. He just wanted to perfect things and bring order. But he was tortured and he didn't want to be dark and evil. But no, he willingly sided with Morgoth And then when they made him repent, he quickly unrepented and ran away to hide to recover his power before coming back as the new Dark Lord. He's evil. He's evil. Sauron was never good, but you can't have your thirst trap be evil. It's ridiculous. Well, for the weirdos they can, because to them abuse is love to these people.
No, nobody's pure evil anymore. You have to, pity the villains every time. They're victimized now.
I shared it, but this is a picture of Morgoth.
Yeah.
You can't see it because of our pictures, but there's a person down below.
I can move us. I can
rearrange it.
Don't move me.
That's how big Morgoth was.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good artwork of Morgoth, like marching across the land and stuff like that. Now, this one's missing the Silmarils in his crown, though. Right.
So his crown was the size of a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
And remember, Adar's walking around with that crown right now.
Yeah.
Very easy.
No. We talked about this. His real crown is actually his chains. There is no remaining piece of his crown. So
right.
Well, I just want to point out again, what has Sauron done wrong or done at all in this show? Now we know in the War of Wrath, he was getting tortured all the time. And then he was killed immediately, Julius Caesar style by Eitr. Then he was asleep for apparently just 1,000 years or so while Galadriel was hunting him while he was a venom monster. And then he came back, stumbled into a few things, and got given the plan to make the Rings of Power.
He ate a lady.
He ate one lady. That's the worst thing Sauron's ever done in the history of Middle-earth in this show. Because even in the War of Wrath, he was just being tortured.
Yeah, he was tortured.
Well, he has been a kind of an abusive boyfriend to Celebrimbor.
Yeah, I still think eating a lady's worse than that, but yeah, that's the best that we've got is he ate one lady once.
Now, I don't remember what he's saying here.
He's trying to say that it's Celebrimbor's fault that he got tortured. You made me do this.
Okay, all right, okay.
And then Celebrimbor's like, wow, you truly are the great deceiver. You deceived yourself.
Yeah. Such clever writing. Now he's going to go away and...
sorry. No. I missed it in the earlier conversation when Celebrimbor realized that Sauron was Sauron, Anatar was Sauron. The line he used is, you are he, are you not? And that, if for the people who don't know, sounds very eerily similar to a setup that Jesus was asked in the New Testament. I thought Sauron was going to say, I am he who you say I am, or something like that. Because that's a famous Jesus line. And he just barely misses doing it, but it was just another making fun of Christianity, another making Sauron out to be Jesus like they did in what was that, episode 2? It's just... I'm not Christian myself, but Christianity should be respected when you're adapting Tolkien.
Well, because Tolkien was a devout Catholic.
I'd like to quote Lex Udendi in the chat. He says Morgoth was literally the strongest of all the Valar, literally like the story of Satan, the greatest of all the angels turning on God.
Well, listen, like I just said, Tolkien being a devout Catholic would of course take inspiration from faith, because he wanted this to be respectful to all that kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised that he did that. That lines up. All right, so here we go. Now, Celebrimbor is going to try and destroy the 9 by dropping them in fire. But
it's awkward. He throws them in, and then they show him taking it out later, and he's being so casual about it.
But guess what? You know what? I think I skipped when I'm reviewing. So this is just more battle.
Oh yeah, this is when they're doing the skeet shooting, but with oil stuff.
Yeah, it's I skipped over that. So he can't. Now we get the whole. They're still cool to the touch because they had his blood in them.
I'd like to make a point. There's so much happening in this episode. Even at double speed, I'm losing track of all the shit that is going on in this episode.
But here comes my favorite Mexican part. So he's gonna try and take the rings, but he can't get out of his manacles because he doesn't have the tools. Yeah. Now, as I said earlier, there's plenty of slack on that chain, and that is something that is a tool.
That's a metal cutter.
It cuts metal.
No, that's a thumb cutter.
It is now.
It was actually designed for circumcision, but it's going to be used for.
He had enough room to get in there, but no, he couldn't get the manacle off because his thumb joint was in the way. Now, that same moron who I played in the intro, who I made fun of, one of his spurging comments was, "The metal was too thick."
He didn't even try.
And I said, "What evidence do you have to that?"
Mm-hmm.
You don't have evidence of that. But either way, this thing, it should cut that metal is not too thick. We saw it cut metal in the beginning of the episode that was as thick as that chain.
It's not too thick. How do you make the chain in the first place?
Well, there's just so much wrong with this. In pretty much every fantasy or medieval show ever, when someone is manacled, they go to a blacksmith or a forge of some kind to get a tool to break it. There are 100 tools in this shop that he has to be within reach of to forge the rings that he can use. If anything, just throw part of it in the fire. We know he can reach the fire, so melt it down. It's easy, pliable.
But regardless, he has the slack in the chain to put the chain in there.
That's the ultimate point.
So many. But if you're determined to self-mutilate, cutting your finger off isn't going to do enough because it's your bottom knuckle that's the bigger problem with the manacle.
Yeah,
not
the
your
blood
upper
greased it.
I bet you he invents bolt cutters shortly after this.
For that. But my point is, he has a hammer right there. Breaking his thumb, like most people do when they're in a situation like that in shows and stuff, would be more effective than cutting off his thumb.
Dislocation, even.
The biggest character suicide of this show has been Celebrimbor. Because he is a epic character in the book, and they destroyed him in this show.
But look, he's one of the better actors here. He cut off his thumb, Alf. Look at how masculine and epic he is. He cut off thumb.
He's got all those precision tools he was using to put on the gems of whatnot. Those could be lockpicks. There's a million things he could have done besides cut off his thumb.
I know.
Especially since he is a master smith. If anybody would know how to use those tools, it would be him.
But in the Rings of Power, he doesn't know what an alloy is.
But guys, he could have with all he's got there, he could have forged a lockpick in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he could have.
That's actually a good
with
point.
How fast he did the 9 rings, he could make his.
I was gonna say,
there's got to be
it took
a
him
little
like
sliver
3 days to make the 9. He could have easily made a lockpick real quick.
Well, so no, if he just figured out what an alloy is, how's he supposed to cut a chain? That's a really good point.
Yeah, this whole thing. This is how supremely dumb it is. And then to use that moron who I've been making fun of since we started the episode here, the stands are so stupid that they just eat it up. They don't critically think and realize, wait a minute, he could have cut the chain off. It's too thick. But where's your evidence? Shut up, toxic nerd. That's it.
You know what? You need to quit being a bigot, okay?
The power of the one thumb.
So he's going to stumble out into the battle with the rings. Oh, look,
while bleeding out.
Where's that water coming from? That's what I thought.
No idea.
The river is drained. Is there an aqueduct, maybe?
But they're above the water level. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And he's going to catch another stray. He's going to catch another stray and still get up. And here comes some guards. And they want to take him back until Galadriel shows up.
Oh,
good timing.
Woman,
it's very convenient.
Galadriel shows up, and I guess Legolas the Black is there too, but he's off on the walls at this point.
Yeah, he's already
and
fighting.
she says,
Power of the vagina.
Stupid.
How dare you manhandle the Lord of Region? He is Celebrimbor. You will show him respect.
Yeah, so I gotta make a point here. Celebrimbor was the Lord of Region. They would not mistreat him like this.
No. But Alf, Anatar is the Lord of Region.
I know.
Well, all right.
And
fuck.
Alf, this isn't Lord of the Rings. We don't have to respect Tolkien's lore when we watch it.
The Lord of the Rings barely even exists.
If this abided by the Lord of the Rings lore, Sauron would be outside the city leading the army. Celebrimbor.
Are they shipping them now too?
They're shipping everyone.
This is such bullshit.
I wish Celebrimbor would have realized that if he'd waited 5 more minutes to cut off his thumb, Galadriel would have shown up and released him.
That's an excellent point. I
It's
didn't
a
even think of that.
meaningless sacrifice.
She would have scampered up there, and she would have had him.
If he had even tried these other options, it would have bought him enough time for her to save him. But he immediately, I must cut it off.
Well, apparently, Jed, apparently he's got all the time in the world. Because
Yeah.
Celebrimbor is about to give like a 30-minute speech to her.
I like what Smooth said. This is Lord of Ring.
Yeah, he's going to give her the rings now. So now Guy Ladriel, who shouldn't be there at all anyway, she has rings, and she's going to scamper back through the Dwarven secret tunnel into the wilderness, where we know next episode Sauron's going to give chase, and they're going to have their very sexually infused duel. I can't wait to hear that. I can't.
That'll be great. Rachel had a great line right here when she puts the 9 in her pocket. Do you remember that, Rachel?
No.
When Galadriel puts the 9 rings in her
Oh,
shirt.
yeah, I do.
She finally has tits now.
Yeah, she finally has tits.
Oddly
She stuffed
enough,
her bra.
I went to a similar spot. I was like, oh my gosh, she's putting it on her non-existent chest.
Honestly, I didn't go there for once. So
He does have room for him.
You're all hornier than I am this time.
I was like,
great.
Our height inaccurate Galadriel is putting stuff in her shirt. Giving her a big
So
chest.
she wants to go fight Sauron with him. He says, "No, I'm going to handle this myself. You need to get the rings out of here."
Who's it more of an insult of,
There it
Galadriel or
is.
me, that I have bigger tits than Galadriel?
You do. All right, I think
that might be more embarrassing for you.
We're at one of my next favorite parts here. This is great.
Oh yeah.
So now the Elven lines, I don't know what's going on. They're trying to rally, and Asian diversity elf is what she actually says. What could I possibly do? I'm just one elf. What could my one arrow do?
This is the Boromir moment.
Themron says, "Don't worry, you're great. There's always room for you to do something."
Keep it together, Jed. Keep it together.
I think I skipped over it. Oh,
Yeah,
she
you
didn't get.
did.
Oh, sorry, I did. Okay, so
So
here it
yeah,
is.
this was the first time that this is the second time.
When she got a pincushion, I started clapping. I was like, "Yes!" And
They were.
this is-
They were.
Go ahead, go ahead.
They were clearly going for the Boromir moment.
Mm-hmm.
With an elf. This shit is so stupid.
No, it's not with an elf. It's with a diverse woman. Thank you very much.
But
the repurposing here is criminal. Go ahead, Adam.
I you know what? I didn't actually catch that. I caught more about this. This is what I caught. And then Jed, you go. What I caught was this. Plot armor. She don't have it.
No.
She don't have it. She is there to die so Elrond can't. At the same time, I've been making fun of this for a couple of weeks now, and I even made fun of it today with another one. The stands get obsessed with these characters who have no story, no lines, no character development whatsoever, do nothing, but they are always, are they safe? Where are they? Are they
Who the fuck
okay?
was she?
What?
We learned her name right before this. It was like Rianne.
What was it from the Obi-Wan show? Wade.
Wade!
I don't even know who this bitch is. All I know is she was there during the Barrow Downs. Now she's here. And then, oh my God, now she's
But they're clearly trying to do a Boromir moment here.
And
she's getting pincushioned with arrows, and like they're going for the Boromir moment, and it doesn't work.
Looks like to correct from one discussion with FNT last night, she is pulling that from her quiver. I think
that was the reaction I took. Is it looks like she is pulling it out of her back though,
But
and
it's
using
from her quiver.
blood as pitch.
I thought that
And
too for a second.
She's lighting it, and is that Eitr? Is that Eitr?
I don't know.
I mean,
I
no, it's Elrond. Sorry. The
It's hard to
overlay
tell.
made it look like Eitr for a second.
But why is there a tub of gasoline on the Ravager?
It's not the Ravager. That's something else. I don't know, because the Ravager's still there because Trollman's going to come to touch the Ravager soon.
Yeah,
That's
whatever
true.
this thing,
Ravager.
what is it trying to do? What is the siege thing she shoots?
I don't know, but man, that is the greatest shot. I mean, ABF, could you make that shot?
If I had a nice scope, maybe.
Okay.
Not with
Look at
a
that.
bow and arrow. I used to do that in Boy Scouts. That shit's hard.
Look at that, man. She is just.
And everybody
So you're
stopped
saying?
to look at it.
Wait. Hold on. So ABF, you
Well,
would
how
miss.
many yards? How many yards? is that?
Guys. ABF just admitted he would miss.
With a bow and arrow, yes, not with a firearm.
Well, with a firearm, yeah, I could make that.
So boom.
I just want to point out an explosion close to the wall could damage the wall.
Yeah, but that was more of a gas bomb, like a.
But I don't see where is that the type of fuel that's going to make that kind of explosion?
No.
In that pitch bucket?
No.
Adam, join me on the smart side.
I like this.
And
I like
let's
this.
just rein as bigots.
Stop noticing things.
No.
Such a perfect shot. Explosion. No, don't notice it. Don't notice.
It's so dumb. Like everybody stops to look. It lands in a bomb next to the wall, and everyone acts like this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Were there elves in the way? It looks like it's a pitch battle, and there are elves everywhere. So did she just kill a bunch of elves?
It doesn't matter because now she's going to die and get pincushion. Well, she got pincushion some more there because we haven't sped up. And now Elrond's forces rally. There she goes. There she goes. Now she's dead.
There we go.
There we go.
Dead.
I hate how there's no scale to this battle, not just in size, but I mean, I don't know where anything is in relation to each other.
There's no flow.
Yeah, there's no give and take. It's just a bunch of nonsense and close-ups. How big is this fight? Who's involved? Are we going towards an objective? Where are people in relation to each other?
Yeah.
Where are we?
Where are we on the battlefield? How do we get
We're
here?
in front of the wall, Dermy.
What does blowing this up accomplish besides killing 3 orcs?
I gotta be honest. I thought that was the Ravager that they blew up originally.
But it
then I saw the
what it
Ravager
looked like,
fight, and I'm like, what?
Because we see it in a
What's
couple seconds.
going on?
Because here, but no, it's supposed to be her heroic moment because she has no plot armor and she has to exist for something.
She's
died
diverse. For virtually nothing. Like it's not a hero moment. It's like she took out a few orcs, great, but it's not a hero moment.
So
but here's the thing. In order to have a hero moment, you have to have a character.
She's not a character.
Yeah, she just died. She was in one episode prior to this where she did basically nothing there as well. We don't know who she is. She got a name this episode.
The stand of her, and they've been worried about.
Do you want me to say the phrase again?
I can mute you. Point is, it was pointless, and now this is supposed to somehow rally Elrond's forces to the point where Eitr is now concerned. Release him. But
why is Eitr not in this fight yet with all those reinforcements? He could have trounced the field hours ago and saved his orcs' children's life. Like, this guy has a good point. You're wasting our lives for no strategical point.
Don't worry, I still love you. It's okay. That's his answer. But now we have to win this no matter what. We have to get Sauron right. And this is why I've been saying this is the very, very not subtle story plot arc of why they're going to betray him and side with Sauron.
Yeah,
because he wasted so many orc lives because orc lives matter.
Orc lives matter.
Release him. And here comes the troll that we saw for 2 seconds in episode 3.
Yeah, that's not set up like the stands are acting like. And one troll's not going to change the tide of battle. I mean, we saw it in Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits. There were tons of trolls, and they did good, but
Jed, he's a named special troll.
Oh, so?
He's got a name, and he's got a story that we don't know about and don't care about because he was asking, where's Sauron? Why does he care where Sauron is? Doesn't matter.
His name is Damrod.
Damrod? Can we go him Ram?
I thought it was Ramrod.
Can we go him Ramrod instead?
Dimrod.
Ramrod.
Car Ramrod.
Troll Ramrod. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, okay.
I like Nimrod.
We'll get back to Ramrod in a second because now Sauron's going to throw a tantrum. Where are the 9? Where are the 9? And long story short, here comes Celebrimbor and his soldiers, and they surround him, but it turns out that...
just me?
What?
Is this kind of like, Emperor being held up in Revenge of the Sith?
No.
I am all the Senate.
I am the
Senate.
No, because he wasn't surrounded. It was a face-off in that one. He's not surrounded. And the Emperor didn't mind F everybody and make them kill each other. He just was a Chad, and he killed 3 Jedi Masters in a stroke.
Oh, he stroked good.
So now,
almost as good as me.
Once again, Sauron's ill-defined powers strike again.
That's not how that works.
Powers that obviously didn't save him. before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these people are under his control because he's worked on it. I imagine the orcs in the flashback at the beginning of season 1 would be in his control too.
That's not the powers he was defined to have in the books.
Yeah, but not in the books, but here in the show, we don't even know what his fucking powers are when we see shit like this.
Inconsistent.
He should have.
In the book, in the show, his powers are everything. He can do anything.
Or nothing.
He can't save himself.
So he ganks everybody.
I become a goddamn fucking fart cloud.
Well, this is the last we see of him because he ganks them all and is going to take Celebrimbor hostage, I guess, and then go chase him with Galadriel. Now here comes the epic battle against Ramrod.
Ramrod.
So
Ramrod.
He steps on a couple of elves and orcs, uses orcs for a shield.
Well, let's be fair. The CGI was pretty good.
I'll give it that.
Yeah,
it's fine, only because it's so dark.
But the choreography,
that is
CGI is good, but the choreography is shit. They shoot him with arrows. They poke him with a couple of holes. Then he's going to fall down. And then, well, I'm sorry, I forgot the part. They're trying to stop him getting the Ravager. And out of nowhere, Gil-galad's going to show the fuck up.
Also, why is it so hard to cut that rope? It's in tension.
Yeah.
Is his blade dull? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's been dulled on all the bones. But I don't know if you guys caught it, but it looks like he's, ramrodding the Ravager when he starts using it.
You're not wrong. When he gets there. Now that's retarded. He broke it so he could swing into him. Come on, man.
That's a bad plan.
And it cuts him.
He's not the
cuts
brightest.
him, and now again, and he's gonna kill Femrond after he ramrods it.
He's going to
ramrod
town.
So they only had one troll.
They only had this one, but he was more than enough, I guess.
I know, but like you've seen the previous movies, they had multiple trolls when they attacked cities.
And the trolls are basically
quit using brain power.
He's willing.
Didn't Galadriel take one of these out in like 5 seconds?
That was an ice troll. That was an ice troll. Okay.
In 5 seconds.
Oh, my bad.
This is a hill troll. The ones from The Hobbit, the beginning of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
This is a hill troll. The other one's an ice troll, and the one that hurt the Fellowship went against is a cave troll. Okay, they're different.
Gil-galad comes out of fucking nowhere, trips him up, and then they all just kind of poke him till he dies.
Oh, and they always cut away when they're about to stab him, so we actually don't see what happens. But the third and maybe the best time I died was while Ramrod was on his back here.
I'd like to state.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to state that Gil-galad was not here.
No, he wasn't.
In the lore.
Yeah,
he was not here.
But he is here, and so is Legolas the Black. He's going to leap off the ramparts with a cool ninja kick, and then they're just going to look at that. Wee! Wee!
All right. Here, I need to see if you guys can see it. Ramrod here on his back. Okay, keep going.
He's going to laugh. He pulls out the arrow and throws it at him.
No, he spits it at him.
He spits it at him. Stupid. And then he laughs when he dies. Why is he laughing when he dies?
Who fucking knows?
Because why not?
Hold it together.
Because he's in the rings of power.
But do we have any sort of story? Does he have a beef with Elrond?
He spits arrows.
I mean,
what's up, One
He
Punch
does spit
Man?
arrows. It would have been cool, Jed. I would have laughed more in this scene if he actually would have hit him with the arrow. And it would have stuck in his shoulder or something. I think
Or if he'd used his blood as pitch and blown something up in the distance.
But here's the whole thing, though. This troll was supposed to be some sort of big, nasty ace in the hole for Eitr, and they took him down pretty easily.
Yeah.
Super easily. He didn't do shit.
And he had no story. It's not like he had a rivalry or some sort of lineup. Everybody, it was just...
You remember my fucking rant about this last week? Where's the troll? What's the troll doing? Oh, now we have troll. Okay, what's troll story? Oh, troll story is die.
All right, we're actually almost done here, so we're gonna speed through this.
It's spectacle, not substance.
I mean, Gil-galad says, "I'm here because I'm king." Shut the fuck up.
But you weren't here.
Eitr calls the whole for everybody to march for some reason, and the sun's up now. The sun's up.
It cuts to daylight. It doesn't gradually. It is.
I know. It's just and here they are. It's north. Here,
look.
Durin is coming. Durin is coming. North. No, he's not.
No, he says, "Look to the north, to the rising sun."
Yeah,
the sun still rises in the east in Middle Earth.
show is such
So now there's about 20 elves left. 20 elves left.
Yeah.
Sure.
Diverse guy dies. Adar's going to say, let's do this. There's and Femron's broken. He's just going to sit
His
there.
boyfriend didn't
Broken
come.
heart.
He always does.
Gilgalad's going to swing his crappy-looking spear around. It's not even a good halberd
spear
or a
sword
trident
thing.
or anything. We think we're going to get our one-on-one between Adar and Legolas the Black, but this is all it is. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, what? Gotta see the kick. Gotta see the kick. Look at that.
So Legolas the Black dead? Here's the question. Here's the real question.
No, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
No,
Uh-huh.
no. You didn't see a death face. When he goes down here in a second. I'm just pausing for transformative purposes. When he goes down right here, that's an I'm unconscious face. He's not dead. He's not dead.
So
his plot armor goes for one more episode.
Raised and ready to go.
Yeah. And look, he's still moving there. Look, he's actually still moving there. I missed that when I was watching
He got stabbed like 3 times. Yeah.
See, look,
if your main character stabbing doesn't mean anything in Disney or in Amazon.
And now the wall is broken. The orcs are just going to pull it down now, I guess.
Yeah, like 3 dudes pull on some chains and it does the rest of the work.
And it doesn't work that way.
Femron's going to try and take on Adar, and Adar is going to basically New Hope Darth Vader him. Lift him up. And when he throws
a ring on him.
And when he throws him down, the ring has caught on his finger.
Well, and
I just got to say, who brings the ring to this fight when you know you're going to freaking lose?
And
even
why does
Elrond said it would have been stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And why does that
Why
ring
wasn't it
like plastic, like plastic candy ring?
The thing I want to point out is in this entire little part with Elrond, did you all notice how bad Adar looked? Like he suddenly looks like he's entirely a CGI creation.
Yeah, his face is totally CGI.
The CGI looked very bad.
So
CGI looked very bad.
Doing
want to back up
they were
Adam
doing stuff with his
when
face.
he's in focus. He looks all sorts of fucked up. If you want to back up a couple frames, Adam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's CGI.
That does look weird. Yeah.
So Rachel, do you want to share with them the theory you had upon seeing this?
Oh yeah, no, I think some other people probably have this theory too, but the idea that because the orcs are already turning against him, it'll be easier for him to put on the ring, get healed. Suddenly he's just this cursed elf who's Celeborn. He's gonna find Galadriel and try to get with her and take on Sauron together.
Yeah, Nenya heals him, and that's why his makeup looks terrible. His face looks terrible because the scars are CGI for the transition scene.
Yep.
Fuck that shit.
That makes sense.
You might have just willed this into existence.
And they're probably going to say something like Sauron corrupted his mind, so he doesn't remember that he's Celeborn.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And that's the end of the episode, and then we get some really bad orc metal.
Yes.
The stands are loving because it's called the Ballad of Dumrod. It's about the troll.
I'm surprised I didn't get claimed on because that was my opener for my whole video. My review. I'm surprised I didn't get hit.
So I did a tiny bit of research on that song. They actually had like a behind the scenes YouTube video on the Amazon Prime YouTube channel talking about that about two months ago, which made me think. I'm like, what else is behind the scenes that might give us a glimpse? But I didn't really find anything.
There's a lot. They always put weird stuff behind the scenes, and we always get wrapped up in the show. We never look behind the scenes, and if we look,
that's how we do here. That's what I'm going to do on the autopsy. That's different.
So
listen, when we look behind the scenes, usually you start debating.
On that actual video, the best comment that I saw was, "That's a great orchestra."
All right, that's bad metal, but we do have some good metal. We got sent something. We got sent something.
It's by someone in the chat.
By our good friend Smooth the DJ. Smooth the DJ sent us something, and this is you want to hear some good metal? This is for us, made for this show. This is a theme for the show. So let's listen to a little bit of this.
There we go.
You guys hear it?
I barely hear the.
Yeah.
Well,
I have the volume up as high as I can go.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sky covers the lies
Now, Smooth did send us lyrics too. We do have lyrics. He did because it's metal, so we have to actually see the lyrics sometimes.
Yeah, I gotta see the lyrics.
Yeah, but so I will share this. Everybody, we're gonna post this because Smooth is badass, dude. This is freaking badass.
Thank you, Smooth.
And I love metal. I do love metal. So this is awesome. So just want to share a little bit of that. If we
I don't mind metal, but it just doesn't fit with anything Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it's not in the show, the Dunrod, the Ballad of Dunrod.
Yeah.
It's not Tolkienian to have death metal.
Yeah. So hail Smoo. That's some badass stuff. We'll find a good way to share this so everybody can have a listen to it, and and we do have the lyrics, so you could, because it's metal, you need to read it to see the lyrics. Because never understand what is in the metal. Anyway, so that's it. We're done. The pain is over. Next week is the finale. Yeah, we're gonna get Guy Ladriel and Sauron kiss. It's gonna happen. And here's what I love. Here's what I love. The stands think that's a win for them. No, it's a win for us. It's a win for us. We've been begging for this since season 1, when I thought they were going to actually screw in season 1. Anyway.
All right. This is how I think it's going to happen. They're going to start fighting whatnot over the 9 rings, and then they're going to get too passionate about it and start making out. And then Galadriel's going to fuck him on the grassy hill that they're on, just to distract him long enough that in his post-coital fog that women think men go into, she'll slip away and escape with the rings.
Oh man, I want all of that to happen. I want to, and if Eitr is Celeborn, I want him to like walk up and see that and be like,
oh, and it'll be intercut. The sex scene will be intercut with Disa song fighting the Balrog.
Oh yeah, music. Do we think she's going to song fight the Balrog next week?
I would love it.
Maybe not.
I have a weird ass theory about that one.
All right,
let's hear it.
Okay, so we keep saying like Disa's gonna sing fight the Balrog, but I still keep in my mind going back to all the things of like the sea is always right, and the scene where she like picks up the orb near the water and we think it's the Watcher. I think she's gonna sing and get the Watcher on their side to fight the Balrog.
It's like a kaiju fight.
Oh. What are we having a kaiju battle now?
Probably.
Yes.
Because the dwarves
I want
handle
this.
the Balrog, so the Watcher will.
I want this. I want this.
Stupid ass fight.
Water versus fire.
Uh-huh.
We're not sticking to the lore anyways, so why not?
I want this. We can have a whole segment and call it like a kaiju battle where we're watching. We could call it like a boxing match or something. I want this. I want this. I need this. But we're done. We're done for now. We are over. Let's say our farewells and enjoy what's left of our evenings. Jed, how you feeling now? Feeling good? You all right?
Feel better that this stream is over. Unfortunately, just reliving through it is so torturous, but it's so cathartic to talk about the show with all of you. So feeling a little bit better. For me, there's nothing else going on Hollywood Scholar this week. I am traveling for a wedding, so I won't be around for this stream next week, unfortunately, or roundtable. So yeah, this is gonna be a little bit take break, and I have to suffer the finale in solitude with Rachel. We don't even get to come for a therapy session. It's gonna be so disappointing.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you could do. You could not watch it and say you did.
You see, Jed has honor though. He's gonna honor his commitments to this. He's not like you.
Or maybe I'll sneak away from the wedding to join Mordor country on my phone.
I'll send you the link. I will still do it. All right. So, Rachel, you'll be with Jed next week. So, any final thoughts?
I'm still disappointed we haven't learned how orcs know what a menu is. I'm still hoping maybe the finale episode of the season we'll find out. But yeah, so Jed and I are going to be away. We will find time to watch this. But thankfully, I am also a psychologist. So any kind of therapy Jed needs to go through, I'm right there.
Jed, the therapy is right here. It's called Crown.
That's a good one too.
Dermy, you've been bitching the whole time. What else you got?
We got Saturday Charity. We're already late, but I bumped it back like 15 minutes because they need to get some water.
3
and stuff.
minutes.
It's whatever.
It's Saturday. It goes on for 6 hours anyway.
We have another fucking week of this goddamn shit. I'm ready for it to be over. I just give me just let it be over.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad it's ending because it's doing great on my channel. I'm getting good views. I'm getting subs.
Dude, I bet you can't wait for the Nielsen's next week when episode 4 is just either gone or number 9 of the originals.
I need hey, that's the next stage with the post-mortem, because there will be an autopsy. There will be an autopsy stream. Anyway, ABF. You think the GCA is gonna draw and quarter you by the end of this?
I think they're gonna be happy that Lord of the Rings is over, but they're still gonna have to endure Agatha with me. So
GCA, yeah, I got the tap
Wow,
out
you
of that.
really are a freaking war criminal, aren't you?
Hey, I throw good things at him once in a while though. Also, like we've been watching The Penguin, Grand Tour. We watched Count of Monte Cristo like a week ago.
Wait, are you talking the Guy Ritchie movie?
What's that?
Oh,
the Count of Monte Cristo with
the Count of Monte Cristo
with Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce.
Mm-hmm. Yep, a lot of people haven't seen it before, and I showed it to people, and they were like, "How have I never seen this? It's amazing! It's such a good movie."
This is one of the first ones we did on the Revived Drive-In. It's so good.
That movie is so good.
So good.
But my air conditioner stopped working during the stream, and it's currently like nearly 90 degrees in my house.
Oh my
I need
God,
to figure out some options after this.
Go.
I live in Phoenix, Arizona, so
yeah, that's not cool.
Kind of a big deal.
Hydrate now. All right, so so what else you got coming up, ABF?
I have Off the Hip coming up Monday evening, so
Okay.
come on over and check that out.
Outstanding. Subscribe to the GCA guys, and Alec Baldwin's Fingers channel is linked in the description below. I should have the GCA link there. I really should. I don't know why I haven't done that. It's just because you're here and it's not. It's the thing. Anyway, Alf, what are you sharing as we get you out there?
The image is very pixelated, but these are images that were filmed during the Jackson trilogy.
Yeah.
This is on the right, High King Gil-galad, and on the left, High King Elendil. This is what we could have had with this show.
Well,
it's so
much better.
Yeah. Yep. It's real.
This is what we could have had. These were real pictures from the original filming.
Yeah.
We got screwed.
What did they have? They had like 15 blacksmiths on the set of Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
It was
just
all
pounding
beautiful.
out armor all day long.
This is what we could have had. And Gil-galad, his spear, his glaive is what they called it. It inspired fear itself on the battlefield.
I do know that some of the weaponry and armaments from Lord of the Rings, they weren't like actual metal, but what they would do is they would make like the front bit, the parts that the camera would see, would look like metal. And then they would do their best to kind of like
that's just special effects.
That's special effects.
As long as it looks good on camera.
Fine,
that's
but look at the detail on this armor versus what we get from.
Because they don't give a shit. Anyway, Alf, what you got coming up?
They think sparkly good.
Jeremy, shut up.
I just wanted to show that to show you guys what we've been missing out on potentially. But I'm gonna try to be on Saturday in a little bit. But
you got like an hour. We got to do some stuff.
You got like an hour and a half. We have to do something beforehand.
You guys are playing some games, right?
Well, he's playing. I'm Static and I are critiquing.
We'll be doing a special review thing at the very beginning, and then going back.
I'll jump on whatever. I'm gonna jump on, do some Saturday chatter.
You got time to cool down.
Tomorrow night I got me, green-haired anti-liberal, and ABF, and Dom H. We're gonna be playing some Demonologist. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast. I want to get Dermy onto Demonologist because that's gonna be hilarious.
I hate you.
He totally wouldn't raise his voice ever.
Yeah,
we gotta get Dermy on there. Yep.
I can do horror movies. I can't do horror games.
Yay!
And that's I got a bunch of stuff during the week, but that's it. So.
All right.
Check out tomorrow night.
Alf games all week long, guys. Go check it out. He's real close to his monetization hours watched, so go help him out, guys.
Nice.
As for me, like I said, I'll be on Saturday in a little bit to help critique, look at this game that Jeremy has been asked to check out. Other than that, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Roundtable, we will be talking about the PlayStation State of Play and all the news that came out of that, essentially. We're talking about what they announced and a couple other things, ratings. What does a rating mean? What does a rating even mean now? Because they wanted to think it means something else. stands and chills in Amazon and Netflix and all that fun stuff. We'll be talking about that kind of stuff. Mondays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll try and nerd out, have a good time. Rest of the week, check out my gaming streams over on Renaissance Art Arcade. We're going to be just soldiering on through Dragon Age Inquisition, getting ready for Veilguard at the end of the month, and other fun stuff like that. And my final review, The Rings of Power Season 2, next Thursday. It should be a good one. Singing, screwing. I'm probably dying inside right now, just getting ready. Anyway, so thank you all for being here across everybody's channels. We appreciate each and every one of you. You guys, we don't get to do this without you supporting us, hanging out. The chat was great tonight. You guys were lively, having a good time. We love you. Hit those like buttons, subscribe to everybody's channels, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy. Have a good night or day wherever you may be.